Good morning, everybody. It is. Oy. Good morning, everybody. It's 8:11 a.m. on September 11th, 2025. It is hard to believe it's been 24 years since that tragic event. But today is the 24th anniversary. It does not make as much news as it used to. That's for sure. I remember the 10th anniversary. That was a huge deal. And today it's like third or fourth in the news items of the day. There's also some really disturbing news coming out, political killing there. So I realize it's a busy news day. But anyways, I don't know why I started doing that, but just said September 11th and it popped into my head. We've got the Nasdaq futures contract up here. I've removed our support and resistance levels from the chart so we can take a clean look at it. We did have some news coming out this morning. We had PPI coming out, and initial jobless claims. Throw this guy over here. PPI. No, it was CPI. PPI was yesterday. CPI, PPI, HPI, KPI. Looks like it came in higher than expected. The consensus was 0.3, came in at 0.4. It's green because, this is a Forex calendar, so higher, inflation is the value of the dollar goes up. So this is bullish for the dollar, but bad for the indexes or the stock market. Jobless claims look like came in hotter than expected as well. So I don't know. I'm not an economist. Let's see how the market reacts to it. But it's just important to know if you see the market moving dramatically one way or the other, that's these numbers are probably going to move it. But let's look at technicals to see what's going on with it. Let's start with that weekly. And keep looking at that weekly, guys. I'm telling you, this thing is going to pop to 24,700-ish. Let's see. Let's draw out this level of resistance up here. It's going to come down to our daily. We can see it over here on the daily. That touch right there. Where's my pen? Where did that thing go? My pen always disappears. I don't know what this thing is thinking. There it is. All right. We can see the touch over here. We got that drawn out. It's gonna bust up through that at some point, but maybe it's today, maybe it's not. Who knows? Let's move down to the 4-hour. Actually, let's see if we can see some resistance levels over here on the daily. God dang it! You suck, Ninja Trader. Here we go. Support levels, descending trend line broke to the upside. That's a nice trade right there. It's always nice to look at what happened to price in the past. It's going to repeat itself in the future. So if you know what happened in the past, it's probably going to happen again. So when you see it again, you know what to do. Broke to the upside, got that nice move up here at all-time highs. I think we talked about that a few days ago. But as intraday trading, traders, that's difficult to do unless you're trading small size and have drawdown that you can endure. But if you're trading, the Qs or something, that's a nice trade to get. Maybe options on the Qs or something. So there's our daily. Let's look at the 4-hour. Let's look at support levels on the 4-hour where price may want to come down into. I don't really need these Bollinger Bands on here for this. Support. This is not rocket science. Kindergartner can do this. Support. Right? I would put this low in here. This is the low it just made on the impulse on PPI. That's probably going to be significant. So lots of levels of support to the downside, and then our levels to the upside. This was what yesterday's high. Yesterday's high coming in here. So those seem to be the levels we're looking at around price right now. We can move down to an hourly. This bad boy. I do like to keep the Bollingers up on the hourly. I feel like price does react to them. You can see it over here, particularly here where it's ranging. Coming back down. Here's the key level of support right there, 900. You can see that touch here, It's also the 20 SMA on the hourly. We've wicked through that. Massive level of support here. Big zone to the downside. This guy right here, price starts to move through here. I think you're targeting down here and possibly down here in terms of support. To the upside, we break that. We might be looking to come up. Or we might wick through, do liquidity, and then come back down. So really going to be watching order flow. We had a really nice delta divergence trade set up on the ES yesterday, actually on the open. The ES was screaming delta divergence on the open. I don't know if I can pull up that trade. Let me see if I can switch over to there. Switch over to another chart. Man, this thing yesterday morning, if I can find it, where was it? I gotta come over here. There it is. So this was on the open yesterday on the ES. I showed this yesterday, but man, on the open's right here. On the open, we just start to move down. And then, price starts this consolidation. And as price is consolidating, I bet a lot of people were going short thinking it was going to do one of these. And if you just could see Delta just moving up, and all this consolidation, I took a couple longs. I should have probably held it longer. Or actually, what I should have done is just bought here and then got out. I don't know. I probably would have got out where I got out up here, but this is just a really nice trade setup. When you have that delta divergence, delta's moving up, its price is moving down or consolidating. Get in there. Your stop is here. Take a 1R, 2R. So those are nice trades to find, particularly trading intraday. So yeah, maybe we'll be able to find something like that. I did not see really any delta divergence going on with the NQ yesterday. Oops, wrong one. Oops, sorry, hit the mic. Any good setups going on with that in terms of delta divergence? We took, I don't know what I took on the NQ yesterday. Nothing was particularly that great. This is a 5-minute chart. Just looking back at what happened. Yeah, we moved down a lot yesterday, didn't we? I'm either getting super old or what. I don't know. My short-term memory is like going. I'm getting sick, is what it is. Like I still coach like youth soccer, and I'm around a ton of kids all the time, and I'm just sick. Yeah, just a lot of bearish price action coming on the open. The push down, move up, push down. Putting in lower highs all day, into the close. So definitely a bearish day yesterday. So you could just trade that stair step and that thing bad boy down. Anyways, so for today, we're gonna have to let the market open, see what happens. We're bullish Delta at the moment. Where's my dotted line? Remember, I moved this thing down, and we're trying to find opportunities to trade with the trend, or we're trying to find Delta divergence. Yeah, so I don't know. See what happens when the market opens. I'm not, I think to the downside, it's got more room to the downside, but we're clearly in a bullish market, so you got to be a little risky trading, shorting it. We're right at the support level on this trend line. We get through 09, maybe it's going to drop down here, or you might find divergence as price moves into this area here. Its price moves down into here, watching Delta. If Delta starts moving up or stays flat or starts moving up, this might be an opportunity to try to go long for a nice risk reward trade. So that's what I will be looking at today. I hope you guys have a good trading day. I will not be live streaming tomorrow, but we'll be live streaming again next week. So live streams aren't that popular if you're here. Thank you. I appreciate it. But still trying to, be consistent with these and come on at 8:10 and kind of draw out some levels that I'm looking at. I know everybody trades a little bit differently, but this is just how I'm seeing the market this morning. And I appreciate you guys being here. And yeah, if you appreciate giving this, I would appreciate if you give this thing a like. If you haven't subscribed, give this thing a subscribe, and I'll check back in with you guys later. All right, take care, guys. Bye.